From Southwest Detroit, deep within Zug Island's industrial waste depositories.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Delray's #1.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of today's bloodiest game show. It's the Murder Mayhem Show.
What the fuck is up, Juggalos? This is the Murder Mayhem Show. I'm the host, Mitchell. So, Astronomicon a couple of weeks ago. That's not news. I know that was from February 9th to February 11th. But a couple of days after Astronomicon ended on the 13th, Monoxide posted something on the Brunch and Bake that got some attention, just like a couple of weeks ago, but this time it was on kind of a different tip. Let's check out what Monoxide said on the February 13th Brunch and Bake at about the 20-minute, 38-second mark.
Did we squash the beef? Fucking Rude Boy was at our con. I don't know what kind of beef y'all talking about. Like, I don't know. You guys are just hungry. Become vegetarians. Then you won't be looking for beef so much.
Alright, so Rudy was at Astronomicon, and Monoxide says, I don't know what kind of beef you're talking about. That sounds like good shit to me. Now, obviously, he had said some shit about a week before that kind of got people talking a little bit, and if you heard the last episode of the Murder Mayhem Show, and now this one, you might think that I just pick apart everything Monoxide says. It's not usually like that, but after what he said 2 weeks ago on the 7th, when he was going off on how Juggalos turned their backs after Twisted left psychopathic and stuff, he had a lot to say on the Brunch and Bake on February 7th, so tensions still seemed high. That was kind of the vibe and tone that I felt was putting out there. Tensions were a little bit high. This was a good time for Monoxide to say some shit like that about y'all are just looking for beef, which one could argue that he was the one that was putting that out there, but either way, the important takeaway to me is Rudy's there. Monoxide says, I don't know what beef. So now it's kind of like, either he's just pushing the narrative that he always does. Anytime there's been any kind of back and forth between Twisted and ICP, then Monoxide always jumps out there saying, well, ICP's the one making you choose sides, not Twisted. So this may just be a thing like that where once again he's saying, what beef? I don't know anything about beef. You know, saying that the beef is all on ICP and not on Twisted. It could be that type of deal again, but the way I looked at it was, oh, he's putting the beef out of his head. That can only be a step closer, I would think, to mending any kind of bridge there. And Rudy being there didn't sound too bad to me either, although I'm sure there were a lot of people that right from the jump started talking shit on him, saying, oh, Rudy's going to MNE. You know, that's how people talk. Everything, something remotely like that happens. Oh, so-and-so must be going to MNE. ABK must be going to MNE. You know how that goes. So I'm sure you had those type of people, but it sounded good to me. Rudy's going to MNE, or not going to MNE, going to Astronomicon. Monoxide saying what beef, all this shit. It sounded like a good trajectory. But then the next day, I saw a video from Child's Play Ninja on YouTube. And this dude, Child's Play Ninja, is fucking huge. I didn't know this dude had been in the game for 10 years. And when I say huge, I'm talking about social media presence. That wasn't any kind of crack on his size. This guy is all over the place. He's been uploading videos on YouTube for 10 years about juggalo shit and psychopathic shit, whatever. And a lot of people seem to already have an opinion on this dude. I don't know shit about him. I'll tell you that right now. I know that he's got a huge following, a shitload of subscribers, and a lot of hours and hours of content. I couldn't even guess how much hours of content is on his YouTube channel, but basically, I never bothered to go and listen to other people's opinions on psychopathic shit. really for just about as long as I've been a Juggalo. As far as opinions online go, or opinions from strangers, you know, I had a crew of Juggalos back in the day that I was friends with, and obviously I care about their Juggalo opinions are, but as far as the vloggers and stuff, I never bothered to check out anyone else's input because I am generally so confident in my own input and my close friends' input that I tend to not really give a shit what a stranger says. So, with that in mind, I haven't hardly listened to any amount of Child's Play Ninja or that Chuck Reeves fella or most of the other Juggalo podcasts and vlogs and stuff. I've checked out some of the Fagel Lovers podcast, stuff like that, but this Child's Play Ninja dude is apparently very divisive and that a lot of people hate him and a lot of people really like him. Now, out of all of his hours and hours of content, I've probably only heard like 10 total minutes of Child's Play Ninja in my life, and probably half of those minutes was just within the last couple of weeks. Before that, I knew almost nothing about him. I still know almost nothing about him. I've only skimmed around a handful of his videos because he kind of talks about shit that you don't hear other people talking about a lot. Like, I think I may have even heard the King Crimson diss track first from a Child's Play Ninja video before I heard it anywhere else. So, for that reason, over the last couple of weeks, I kind of click around on shit of his. And everything that I've heard, I liked. That's what I'm saying at this point in time right now. I can't make a huge judgment call on this dude who has all this history and all this content, and I've seen 0.000 whatever 01% of all the shit. I'm not vouching for the dude, and I'm not shitting on the dude because I don't know shit about this dude, and I don't think there's anything offensive about me saying that. There totally shouldn't be. I mean no kind of offense by just honestly saying I don't know shit about this dude, but from what I've seen of his videos, I tend to agree with what this dude says. So far, I like it. I'm probably going to continue clicking around on shit and getting his input on things, and that doesn't even always mean 100% agreeing with everything that this Child's Play Ninja says. You don't have to, and I don't think that he would expect you to, I don't think, but again, I don't know this guy. I'm just kind of projecting my own attitudes, I guess. But at any rate, he was the one who posted a video about Rudy not being at Juggalo Day. This was on the 14th that he posted this, and I'm just going to play the shit right off of Child's Play Ninja's YouTube video so that you know it's coming from him.
So a couple people sent me this screenshot. Now the homie Aaron is the one who sent it to me first, so you get the shout out. Aaron be on point too, was sending me that shit. But Rude Boy posted this thing, say that he was like, "Yo, it sucks watching all my homies getting ready for Vegas." But apparently the Rude Boy was not needed in Vegas this weekend. And then a bunch of hashtags like hashtag eyes wide open, hashtag family bullshit, hashtag fuck that shit, hashtag or like you'll never know where Rude Boy will pop up, and all this other shit. And I was like, damn, dude.
Alright, so when CPN says that he has a screenshot with all that stuff on there, they don't show the screenshot on the video. Now, I think he was doing a live stream. Yeah, on the YouTube video it says streamed live, so if you're streaming the shit off your phone or whatever, doing it live, you can't just splash graphics up there probably, but without seeing the screen, I'm just a natural skeptic in general, so I tend to have to see things even before beginning to believe them, and even then, who knows. I would have liked to see the screenshot come up in the video, but to his credit, CPN doesn't say he saw a screenshot. He said, some people sent me the screenshot. So you're being totally honest and ethical and upfront. You know, that's having some journalistic integrity to say someone showed me the screenshot instead of saying I got this screenshot. At that point, even if the screenshot turned out to be bullshit, then CPN still didn't lie. He said somebody sent me a screenshot. But he does say a couple of people sent it to him, so I'm sure that the people that sent these, he's deemed reliable enough to talk about it, but it didn't seem that far-fetched, you know? It was just like, well, without any additional information, then I guess that's all I have to go on. So I went to Rudy's Facebook page, and this is Rudy's personal page, and I don't say that like I fucking personally know Rudy, because I don't. I just mean that it's his friend page or whatever, you know? It's not like a group page set up for the Rude Boy. It's like Rudy Hill's Facebook page, and I sent him a friend request before, and I'm sure he only accepted it because I had the Marvelous Missing Link as my avatar at the time. I don't know Rudy. I'm not claiming to say that when I say his personal Facebook page, but that's where I went to check for this post, and I couldn't come across that. I mean, if it is up there, I couldn't find it, but what was on there was a post from February 12th. This is on Rudy's Facebook page, and he mentions that he's not going to be in Vegas. It's not the post that CPN was talking about, but it was a post that mentions that he's not going to be in Vegas. So now it's like, oh, this screenshot that was shown to CPN is a little more credible now that I know that at least the part about Rudy not being in Vegas is true. Because I hadn't seen that at the time, you know. Rudy posted that on the 12th, but I wasn't creeping on his Facebook page on the 12th. I didn't even know he was at Astronomicon or anything like that. But I don't want to feel like I'm blowing up Rudy's spot here. That's why I say it's his personal page, because I want to make it known that these are posts from his page, and I kind of feel like I shouldn't just be reading the shit and putting it on this show like that, but I'm doing this to build to a bigger point that I think will actually help Rudy out. So hopefully the ends justify the means on that, and I'm not just blowing up his spot reading his personal Facebook posts on a podcast. But at any rate, I see that post about how he's not going to be in Vegas, so it's like, well, okay, we know that's true, but I still didn't know about all that other stuff that CPN mentioned about the post. So, yada yada, a couple of days go by. At some point, some number of days later, I see a post that Rudy made on the 15th, and I'm going to read this in its entirety. And so I hope to God that it's not stepping on anyone's toes for me to do so, but Rudy, say the word. If you hear this and you don't like your post being read on a podcast, I will take this episode down so fast. But I'm reading this to hopefully do you a favor. So the post goes like this. This is Rudy Hill on February 15th. He says, real quickly, I'd just like to say a couple of days ago I posted something regarding Juggalo Day and myself not going, and it came off really bitter and salty, and for that I would like to apologize. I'm human, and sometimes I post without thinking that you could possibly hurt someone. For that I apologize. And also I would like to say that the reason why I'm not going to Juggalo Day has nothing to do with me attending a pop culture con over the weekend in the Detroit area that was hosted by Twisted. I was invited by George and his team to come. Anyone who knows my 6-year-old son Santana knows that he is the biggest wrestling fan in the world, and I was given the opportunity for my son to meet some of his favorites, and I accepted the invitation. The whole staff and everyone treated me and my kids with the utmost respect and love, and not only did I accept the invitation because of my son, but I also accepted the invitation in hopes that just maybe, yes maybe, in the future, we can rebuild that bridge again with friends that we made magic with many years ago. Look, we are too old to stay bitter and carry grudges. None of us are promised tomorrow, and it would really suck if anything were to happen to any one of us and we had a bullshit beef going on at the time of someone's death. I guarantee you we would all hurt together. I'm sorry, family, I don't subscribe to that mentality anymore. I know a lot of people are going to be upset by this post, and the fact of the matter is, until you have to walk around in these size 11s and live in my life, you have no idea what goes on in my mind. Positivity, negativity, holding grudges, bullshit beefs, I'm done with. Now all the haters can call me sellout or whatever, but as long as I can look myself in the mirror, and as long as I can look at my children without feeling any embarrassment or shame them, I'm good with that. Once again, everybody, life is too short. We only got one. Live it like there's no tomorrow, because there just may not be. Remember, no guarantees for tomorrow. Hashtag 47 years old, too old to beef. Hashtag no more beef. Hashtag live for love. Hashtag positivity, people, share it. Much love to my family on their way to our Juggalo holiday in Las Vegas. Juggalo Day, everyone stay safe and have a good time. Be good to one another. See y'all real soon. Hashtag Juggalo family. Hashtag Juggalo Day. That's the end of Rude Boy's post. Yeah, a lot to say there, as you can see. The way he starts it by saying, a couple of days ago I posted something regarding Juggalo Day and myself not going, and it came off really bitter and salty. That pretty much corroborates the screenshots sent to CPN, right? I mean, obviously Rudy said something that he deemed to be bitter and salty, and that thing that CPN read would definitely fit that description. So at that point, I just figured, okay, well, I guess all that shit was true. But no sooner did I realize that that shit was true than I forgave him right away, because I'm finding out at the same time, yes, he said some bitter and salty shit, and at the same time that I'm reading that he's taking it back and he feels stupidly about it. That's all it takes. That's why Rudy is the shit. That's all it takes. It doesn't matter to me what kind of fucked up shit you're saying or doing, to a certain degree. Up to a certain degree, you could be saying and doing some bullshit. You could be on some bullshit, whatever. And as long as you take it back, or you admit you feel stupid, or you have some humility about it, or you apologize, which Rudy did, then fuck it. Let it go. It's all good to me, man. So, obviously, he kind of parlays that into talking about Twisted and Psychopathic, and I fully 1,000,000% agree with him on that, too. And that is what I have been pushing for a while now myself. Ending this beef. I don't support Twisted's music that much these days. Ever since they signed Young Wicked and then started talking shit about the March, and it just got to be a bridge too far, and I kind of stopped keeping up on their new shit, other than like sometimes a new single or whatever, if they have a new act or whatever. But as far as buying the albums and the merch and going to the shows and stuff and keeping up with all the new albums, I really have fallen off from him any since they signed Young Wicked, and I've never said fuck Twisted. If you've heard this podcast more than once, you've maybe heard me say this more than once. I've never said fuck Twisted because they're still family, even though I'm not really fucking with them right now. So when Rudy talks about ending this beef, yes, let's do it. And Rudy's got respect. Everyone knows Rudy didn't just swoop in out of the blue. Rudy was as outspoken about Twisted as much or more than anyone else. So for him to turn around like that and say, we need to get over this shit because somebody could die, that's exactly what happened to NWA. They didn't just make that shit up for the Straight Outta Compton movie. They were going to get back together. Everyone was down to get back together in NWA. That's what the fuck could happen with Dark Lotus at any time. There's no way of knowing who's going to die at any time. And Rudy says it so well. He says it would really suck if anything were to happen to any one of us and we had a bullshit beef going on at the time of someone's death. I guarantee you we would all hurt together. That's exactly how it would be. And that's kind of how I approach a lot of my relationships in my life, even. Like, if you wouldn't be happy that the person is dead, then your beef may be something that you can get over. So anyway, now you got Rudy saying, hashtag no more beef, let's end the bullshit. 47's too old to beef. I fully agree with all those statements. He's on a good page. Twisted, or at least Monoxide, saying, what beef? I don't know anything about a beef. Plus, if you want to go back to the Astronomicon old school panel, I mentioned on the last episode of the Murder Mayhem show how the ROC declared publicly at the panel that he loved Joe and Joey, and Madrox is there nodding his head up and down, and now we have Monoxide saying, I don't know what beef you're talking about. We've got some good things in play happening here as far as everyone getting back on the same page. I'm feeling optimistic about it. A couple of days later on Twitter, I saw someone tweet at the ICP Twitter page, which is run by Kevin Gill, and they linked a video to the Child's Play Ninja video, and I said, do you care to explain this or something like that? They wanted some kind of a statement about Rudy being at Astronomicon and not being at Juggalo Day and whatever post that Rudy had made. And so I'm looking at that like, are they just not letting Rudy off the hook, or do they not know that Rudy is over all that shit and he's already apologized for it and he's already on a whole new chapter now? So if people don't know that that's what's up, then I felt I had to talk about it and spread it around. So I took a screenshot of that entire post that Rudy made on his Facebook page, and I posted it on the Murder Mayhem Show Facebook page and the Murder Mayhem Show Twitter. And seeing as that one of the hashtags on Rudy's post literally says positivity, people share it, I thought, well, surely he won't feel too badly for this being shared around on my pages, because it's right there in the hashtag. Share it. So I was sharing his message of peace, his message of unity all over the extent of my reach. And I got a lot of feedback on Twitter. A lot of people had some things to say as far as reconciling with Twisted. The ones I found most intriguing were the people who don't want things to get better with Twisted. They're just like, fuck Twizzlers, fuck the fam kids, fuck Twisted. They said this and this and they did this and this. And to me, it's like, I'm willing to forgive and forget all that shit. I gladly would. It's not really my place to do it completely, because part of the beef is personal, between the MNE camps and the psychopathic camps, as far as Twisted signing Young Wicked after Young Wicked's whole thing with Jumpsteady, So that part on a personal level is between ICP and Twisted to step up and get over. And no, I don't know exactly what goes on in anyone else's personal life, but Rudy's pretty close to the situation, at least as far as knowing all the details and the chronology and stuff. And if he's there saying the same thing that I'm saying, I have some confidence in it. He's saying, y'all are getting too old for beefs. You don't want something tragic to happen to somebody before we clear all this up. Things have been done. Yes, if everyone could just step up and apologize like Rudy did for his bitter, salty post, he manned up and apologized. So he's not even asking anyone to do anything that he's not willing to do himself. I really enjoyed Rudy's post there and the way that he handled everything, because he said a lot of things so well. It just perfectly kind of summed up how I've been feeling about ICP Twisted situation, and that makes me think there's some credibility to it. So there's that whole aspect of the personal side, but a lot of juggalos don't seem to want to forgive Twisted, and I'm of the opinion that Twisted has done nothing unforgivable. Because the arguments that the juggalos who don't want to move on from the beef, they tend to say some of the same reasons, like Twisted talking shit about the march or Twisted signing Young Wicked. And I hear you on those things pissing you off. Yeah, I think that's some of the bullshit that Twisted has pulled. But nothing is unforgivable to me. If they would take some responsibility for their part in the beef, which they haven't yet. Every time Twisted talks about it, they always put it all on ICP. If they could take ownership of their part of the beef, then I would gladly just leave everything in the past and never think about it again. The beef would mean nothing to me. That's what I'm in favor of. That's what I think we should be heading towards. That's why I really support everything Rudy said in his letter. Hashtag no more beef. Damn right. This shit has been going on since 2017. That's when it really kicked into gear, you know. There was squabbles back and forth, little things that, were percolating under the surface, but they all came to a head January of 2017. So there's been more than enough time for everyone to get over this bullshit. And if the bullshit at its core crux, to me, as far as I can really tell, is the young wicked situation, that's something that everyone is just going to have to grow up and get past. Because with a kid involved, you've got to stick it out at least until that kid becomes an adult. So your beef can't possibly last for another 18 years. Just get the fuck over it. It's how I felt, and now the Rudy's pretty much saying the same thing. I feel like maybe I was onto something there, but that's why I don't understand the argument of not forgiving them. Because some juggalos say, well, Twisted was family, and then they did this and this and this, and you don't do that to your family, and it's like, well, you don't just fucking abandon your family completely either, just because they're doing shit that you don't like, and you don't have to support it, but you don't need to just totally close the door. You can still leave the door cracked. So when I posted it on Twitter, I said, I'm still seeing people talking shit about Rudy, so I thought it would help him out to spread this out there. And someone responded to me on Twitter, and he said that all the shit talking on Rudy started with Child's Play Ninja posting that clip. And I responded to that person and said, it didn't start with Child's Play Ninja, it started with Rudy. Meaning that if Rudy posted that shit in the first place, it's not Child's Play Ninja's fault for talking about it. It's saying what he was told happened. And again, he didn't even say, this is what happened, but he's saying, here's something that was passed along to me by a couple of people. So I was trying to make the point there that Child's Play Ninja didn't do anything wrong. I want to go back and play that Child's Play Ninja clip again, and I'm going to play what he said about Rudy's post, and then I'm going to play the part right after that, which was Child's Play Ninja's reaction to that. So here we go again with Child's Play Ninja's video from February 14th about Rudy not being a Juggalo Day.
So a couple people sent me this screenshot. Now the homie Aaron is the one who sent it to me first, so you get the shout out. Aaron be on point too, was sending me that shit. But Rude Boy posted this thing, say that he was like, yo, it sucks watching all my homies getting ready for Vegas, but apparently the Rude Boy was not needed in Vegas this weekend. And then a bunch of hashtags like hashtag eyes wide open, hashtag family bullshit, hashtag fuck that shit, hashtag you'll never know where Rude Boy will pop up, and all this other shit. And I was like, damn, dude. I was sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, how are you gonna not have Rude Boy up at motherfucking Juggalo weekend? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's West Coast, alright? We Chicano out in this motherfucker, you know what I mean? We rollin' La Onda out in this motherfucker, and Rude Boy is definitely on that. So I'm like, we always love when Rude Boy fucking comes out in this motherfucker, you know what I mean? I'm like,
alright, so I hear that whole clip, and I don't hear any shit talking. I hear him saying that he saw something online, and then saying what it was, and then giving his input about it. That's different from shit talking. So maybe CPN is a real shit talker. Maybe that's his steez. I don't know. But I can tell you that if what we just heard in that clip there is an example of shit talking, then I have a different bar of shit talking than other people, because that just sounded like a dude talking about a situation and then giving his opinion on it. And he certainly wasn't shit talking on Rudy. So for me to post a tweet and say, I heard that people were talking shit about Rudy still, and then I get a response saying, well, the shit talking started with Child's Play Ninja, but Child's Play Ninja wasn't even talking shit about Rudy in that clip, so I especially don't really get it there, but there was a pretty lively discussion on Twitter as far as some people just saying, fuck Twisted forever, some people agreeing with what I had to say and say, yeah, let's end this fucking petty bullshit beef shit, and then other people weighing in saying, I don't care if there's a beef, I'm just gonna like the same shit that I was liking before that, whatever. All kinds of a range of opinions. It's all good to me. That's part of the vision of the Murder Mayhem show. I'd like people to weigh in with a lot of different kinds of opinions. It's kind of funny because I've been told even by other juggalos that I take juggalo shit too seriously. And it's like, yeah, of course. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing all of this shit. You think I would start a website and all this shit if I didn't take it too seriously? Of course I do. So I want to kind of take the momentum out of that argument right off the bat and say, yeah, I take it too seriously. I don't give a shit. I didn't choose to. That's just the way that it is. I can't just stop doing it. So, as weird as it may seem, especially to non-juggalos, why I could be so invested in all this stuff that shouldn't have anything to do with me personally, I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. It's just the way that it is. So basically, I'm all about getting this beef over. That's the part of Rudy's letter that really stuck out to me. The hashtag no more beef. No more beef. It's exactly what I was saying after Mars got stabbed. Not Mars the Dark Lotus rapper, but Mars the horrorcore dude. He got stabbed at one point, and I said, shouldn't this remind everyone that crazy things happen all the time? People get stabbed, random bullshit happens, heart attacks happen, anything could happen at any time. ICP knows this, Twisted knows this, Young Wicked knows this. I'm going to include Boondocks and Blaze. They know it. You don't hear them talking shit really, but they're tied up in this too. Gmo might not know it because he's only 14 years old, but that's okay. But that's what I'm rooting for. Everyone getting the fuck over their issues and coming together. New Lotus, that's what I'm shooting for. New Lotus by 2020. I think it's possible. I've got a gut feeling that ICP is going to have a lot to say about MNE on Fearless Fred Fury, so we're probably just having a calm before a storm kind of moment here, but whatever, let's just keep putting the positivity out there. I think everything will come together eventually in time, and when it does, I'll be right back to supporting Twisted the way that I did before they signed Young Wicked. I'm seeing a tweet right now from King of Status B. You know that dude, that guy, he's part of that crew that wears the crowns all the time. He just said something to me on Twitter about it. He said, even I showed Twisted love when they left. It was fine to me, but talking about personal business like Jay's kids, dogging Sai, shitting on the March, Otis, it shows their true colors. I mostly agree with all that, but I don't think the talking about Jay's kids thing really happened. I think that was just some bullshit that was spread around. They made a comment about kids in the studio, and everyone assumed that they were talking about one of Jay's kids or whatever. I think that was just some bullshit, so I wanted to point that out there. Alright, now the next thing I wanted to get to, a different topic. Some bullshit I saw on the internet from MyDaytonDailyNews.com. I guess this is a Dayton, Ohio publication. And the headline says, Springfield teen guilty of killing brother. Crime scene, a, quote, horror movie. Alright, it says, the teenager who was 16 when prosecutors say he killed his younger brother has pleaded to murder. Nicholas Starling, who was accused of stabbing and beating his 14-year-old brother with a baseball bat to death in October 2016, was sentenced last week to 15 years to life in prison, according to court documents. The violent slaying of Harley Starling resembled something out of a horror movie and is the worst child-on-child crime Clark County prosecutor Andy Wilson has ever prosecuted, he said. It was up close. It was personal if you think about it, Wilson said. He took that bat and you know he was feeling the shock of that bat as he hit his brother in the head with it. And to finish him off, he walks into the kitchen and grabs a knife and plunges that knife into his brother's throat. So, yada yada yada, that's all fucked up. of course, this DA, Wilson dude, goes on to say that he doesn't know why he did it. They've been looking at different reasons, and then he has this to say. He seemed to be researching the occult, the insane clown posse, Wilson said. He was very into some satanic worship and that kind of stuff. We were never able to prove a direct link between why he did what he did and his interests, but it piles on for how disturbed this kid is. Fuck off! Did you hear that shit? This dude, Andy Wilson, the DA for Clark County, which is apparently somewhere in Ohio, he says that this 16-year-old dude beat the fuck out of his brother with a baseball bat and stabbed him to death with a knife. Did it because of ICP. He said he seemed to be researching the occult, the insane clown posse. He was very into some satanic worship and that kind of stuff. What the fuck are you talking about? The occult and ICP? Satanism and ICP. This is just one more piece of shit bullshit that is giving more and more credibility because of the gang shit. So if you went to the Juggalo March, then good job, because this is exactly the type of shit that we were trying to stop. Now, obviously, the DA is just going to say what type of bullshit he wants, even if he knows better or otherwise, but it makes it an easier sell than it would have been without that gang list bullshit. So I wanted to pass that along because I know that some people think that the gang shit is being downplayed or whatever. It's not really as bad as they say or whatever, that it's just a stunt. But no, you see in things like this why it matters. So a big fuck the fuck off to Clark County prosecutor Andy Wilson. All right, I want to wrap up the show with a video from Ritz's Instagram. This was sent during Juggalo Day weekend, which was over this past weekend from February 16th to 17th. And Ritz was one of the performers. And Ritz is the shit. I'm a big fan of Ritz. And I was not at Juggalo Day, but I was still delighted all the same to see Ritz intermingling with Psychopathic. And he posted this video on his Instagram that I thought was pretty funny.
Hey, it's Ritz. Hey, guess who I'm here with? Oh, shit. Yeah.
What up, though? I might not be on the screen, but then I might be.
Oh, yeah. We up here.
It's plenty warm here in Vegas. Nighttime in the winter desert.
We're about to go rock this shit right now, man. It's such a pleasure to be out here with him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the shit. Because you know that some percentage of his fans would just say, fuck you for even fucking with ICP. And some percentage of his fans are juggalos, of course, but there's always going to be those people that just say, you're wasting your time fucking around with ICP. And I thought it was the shit, not only that he would do the show, but that he would represent it on his Instagram like that. So, shout out to Ritz. That's the shit. I hope Juggalo Day weekend was awesome for everybody that made it out there. I did not. I'm personally kind of setting some of my disposable income aside for the gathering. It's kind of what I got my eye on this year. I also took a day off in March, a day off from work so that I could go to Dallas for ICP's Slam Fest tour, so that'll be the shit. If you're at the Slam Fest show in Dallas and you see me, then say what's up, even though you probably don't know what I look like. Please follow the Murder Mayhem Show on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Mayhem Show. Now tweeting as well, at Murder Mayhem Guy on Twitter. The YouTube channel is really blowing up. Ever since I put up the video of Shaggy and Clay talking about King Crimson from the Fuck Eva, I uploaded that on my YouTube channel, and it's really been spreading around, and I've got a lot of new subscribers. So I put the full episode of last week's Murder Mayhem Show on the YouTube channel and got some good feedback on that. It really helps to like and share and comment and retweet and all that bullshit when it comes to social media. Go to murdermayhemshow.com to get all the links to everything, including blog posts and also the podcast. There's pictures on there, videos, all kinds of neat shit to check out, remixes to Psychopathic songs, peep out the social media pages. Everything's going way up. I got a good positive momentum going, so that's great. This is what I've been working towards ever since I started the Murder Mayhem show. What's finally coming together more and more with social media followers and all that good stuff. So I'll see you again on the Murder Mayhem show when something happens that I want to talk about. Until then,